Yo, this is Esther. I want to do a quick recap of GOML, of the European players, how I think they will do, and the seeding and storylines to look out for, upsets, potential, all these things. Let's get right into it. So, let's start with the seeding and the European players. I will focus on the high-seeded European players because I don't really know too much about the players below FM. I know that ECS, Baby Cheese, Tom Spain, Diamond, Tooth are all great players, but I really don't know how they will compare to the American players. We will start with Nikki though. Nikki is seeded 8th, which is, in my opinion, a really good seed. Nikki has been beating Mango, Hungrybox, Cody Schwab and Zane in recent times. Just has like the upset potential always on his side. Aklo has been tweeting about this result, or not this result in general, but has been complaining about the seeding because he's seeded 15th, as we can see right here. In my opinion, he does have a point because he has been winning against Nikki a whole lot, but at the same time, it's hard to measure in this range when Nikki has just not a lot of results and has great wins to Aklu, who has not been able to beat top 5 players despite having more attendance. Let's talk about Solo Battle. And here we can see that Solo Battle is seeded 33rd. But right here it says it's seed 50. Which one is correct? The right one is correct. Solo Battle is seeded 33rd. And I think this is a very good change because there was no reason why Solo Battle should be seeded below Jariden, for example. Not to be rude, I think Jariden has had a decent season as well, and I think his 43rd seed is justified. But Solo Battle has just won Valhalla, the biggest European tournament we had this year. And yeah, I think everyone knows that Solo Battle has insane potential. I am so curious to see what he will do. And yeah, I really hope he can get some great wins. He's seated just below Chicken Man. I think it is fine. We will see how he will do. Next up we have Irfan, who's just outside the top 64 range. He's seated 76. Which I think is a horrible seed. I'm gonna be honest. But Irfan has great wins recently against Max, against Francie, and has really good showings and at EU tournaments. Also won against Moth last year at GOML, but he got the same seed again that he had last year, and his results has been just been better. Simple put. So we will see how he will do. Now, for the other players, we will just look at the brackets because it doesn't make sense to compare these seeds to number 64. There's not a whole lot to say, not a whole lot to compare because we just don't know how well they will do. So let's start with melee doubles. A little plot twist. I just want to point out that Irfan and Nikki will play, and if you want to watch doubles, look for them. They have been training. Irfan won the last won Valhalla doubles, which was the biggest European melee doubles tournament this year. Carried his teammate, whoever that was. And yeah, so he's really good in doubles. And with Nikki, he has a very good doubles partner as well. Nikki has been teaming with Pipsqueak a couple of years back and has been winning doubles tournaments as well. So, but that's just on the side. Let's continue. As I said, the first person I want to talk about is FM because I don't really can say anything about ECS and the Baby Cheese and how they will do internationally and all the players below. I think they do have great potential, but I'm not sure if I can see any one of them making top 128th or better. Maybe. We will see. I hope so, but I can't say anything. Let's start with FM. The very first thing you should notice here, FM is seated below Mara. Now, Mara is a great player, definitely. And I hope that Mara will show this weekend as well. But FM has been on a run lately. Wins above Larster against Moth this weekend, last weekend, which is insane, by the way. What else? Valhalla 17th wins against Steff Money, top 20 EU player. Xin, Thalmus, Zap, like really great wins, where Mara only has wins against Mr. Rid, who is great as well, but it just doesn't compare. This is like a great example how it doesn't really make sense the way they seeded this tournament. They just didn't know who FM was and they just seeded him somewhere. Anyway, so FM. FM is supposed to lose against SP and I'm Michael, by the way. Both players are really good. So I hope he can pull off an upset and make it to top 128. But he might just be like really badly influenced by his bad seed. I really hope he can do it and go further than that, because just an insane player. But maybe his seed is just too bad. We will see. Let's continue with Mara. As I said, Mara should not have a higher seed than FM, but here we are. Mara is supposed to lose against Moose, win a couple of rounds in losers, and lose against Eric. Just Eric. Unfortunately, I don't know any of these players, so I can't tell a lot about them. I do think, however, that Mara has the skill to go top 128 or better anyway. We will see. Again, the seeds are not great, so I think I've heard of Moose, but other than that, I don't really know. Let's continue with Noon. So, Noon is seeded 138th, which is a pretty bad seed again, in my opinion, but this tournament is stacked, so I can't tell you how good the players are in the 100 to 138th range. But yeah, we will see how Noon does. Noon is supposed to lose against Bless, but I've heard this name before. I don't know this person at all. Again, Noon has insane potential. Great player. Also plays Mario. So I wouldn't be surprised if he catches some people off guard with Mario. Not to take away from his skill, but if he makes top 128th or better, nobody is shocked. The next person is Irfan. Again, Irfan with a horrible seed. And so, funny story, by the way. They finalized the seeding and they told people you cannot really change it unless it's some kind of clash. And Dark Genix, the ISIS player, said, I don't really want to play against Irfan. He's scared a little bit of Irfan. And they finalized the seeding. So he wasn't supposed to change his seed unless he finds another ISIS player with similar skill level who's willing to change with him for a decent reason. And Dark Genix realized after this round he would play against SDJ, who just moved to New York, where Dark Genix also lives. So he was able to convince Beckwin to take a seat. They are close-ish in seats as far as I know, but now Irfan doesn't have to play against Dark Genix anymore, but against Beckwin, another ISIS player, who, in Irfan's opinion, might be a little scarier than Dark Genix. I don't really know. I think he wins anyway. I think he wins against both these players. Irfan is really good against ISIS, winning against Morph last year at GOML. Going game 5 against Nikki on a couple of occasions. In the end, Nikki kind of clutches it against him. but he plays really close games against Nikki. And yeah, as far as I know, Irfan kinda beat Moff up. I'm not really sure how true that is, but Irfan said he was very confident. No matter what, he will play up next against Seal. Seal is the Sheik player under every YouTube video and also commentating. I think Irfan has this anyway. Again, I don't think he loses in winner's side, but we will see. So Irfan makes it into top 128 again. He was seated in the 70 range. Sorry. Is supposed to win against Swebby, who's pretty good, I think. Not too sure how good they are, but lose against Salami, which is so funny to me because he played against Salami last year at the pre-local and won. So he's kind of having like the repetition from GOML last year, but just this year. Yeah. If he wins, he plays against Muluki, then against Preeminent, who lost against Kinzo. So maybe there's a world to go top 32. Maybe he just doesn't lose against Beckman and plays against SDJ, which would be a pretty tough bracket or tough opponent for him, as Irfan already lost against Jamie this season. Then it would be none. Also really, really hard because we don't have a lot of great Captain Falcon players in Europe. So I'm not sure how well he would do against none. Let's continue. Next up, we got Ja Raidin. Ja Raiden will projectedly beat a horse who can drive. That is a bold assumption. I think I once saw a horse who can drive against 20,000 lions. And I don't know. Like the matchup, and it just killed me. That's the funniest thing ever. Anyway, Ja Raiden's supposed to win against a horse who can drive. I hope this is a Bojack reference, by the way. Win against Amp. Not too sure who that is. Continue playing against Ben. The matchup isn't too shabby, as the UK people like to say. But Ja Raiden won at the local at Verdugo against Jmook. So he's pretty good against Sheik. I still think that Ben is just the kind of player that does really well against players like Ja Raiden. It's just the way Ben plays slow and methodical a lot of times. I think this is a tough pick. But if he wins, he gets the rematch against Jmook. Would be good for our boy, Ja Raiden. If he loses, he plays against Mojo, Captain Falcon or Fox player. I think Fox. I would also think Ja Raiden is favored here. Yeah, Fox. Then against Lunar Dusk, who plays Ices. Ja Raiden has Nikki experience, but isn't. He didn't win against Nikki yet, in recent times at least. So I think he will win against Lunar Dusk, but this is not too comfortable matchup for him, I would say. And lastly, lose to Kem, who is like a insanely fast Fox player. Tough bracket, tough pick for Ja Raiden because he does struggle a little bit against Riggs, for example, like these super fast-paced Fox players. But we will see. It wouldn't be the first time that Ja Raiden makes top 32, and I think Ja Raiden is an incredible player, and yeah, I think he can make the numbers. Let's see where he would end up if he won. And winner's side, wait, Ben is losing a round before that. Let's see. He would play against Joshman. Not too sure how Joshman does against mid tiers. Joshman lost against against Junebug, for example. Still, I feel like Joshman has had this power up recently where I don't see Ja Raiden really winning this. I think he has a chance. If he wins in losers, he would get the spot from Ben or Cam and play against none. I think against none he could do it. I think that's pretty good for him. Luigi destroys Captain Falcon punish-wise. You just have to out-neutral Captain Falcon, because Captain Falcon can just do the same against you. Going out, doing knees and up airs to edgeguard you, and you really can't do anything against it as Luigi, because you have to charge side B. This takes forever. Alright, let's continue with our next player, Solo Battle. Solo Battle is supposed to win against El Jefe, Miranda and Fitzy. I don't know any of them, so would be very shocked if Solo Battle lost against them. Loses against Chicken Man 400. I think this is a great opponent for Solo Battle. I think they couldn't be further away from each other. But I would suggest that Solo Battle's style just beats Chicken Man's style. Chicken Man tries to overwhelm you, tries to play super aggressive against you, has a history of losing against puff players like Khaled, SDJ, and so on. So I think Solo Battle, who's coming with rest setups that nobody has ever seen, I think Solo Battle is the clear favorite. Playing against Cody Schwab, however, is a tough draw if he wins. I think he can do it, maybe. Hard to say. It depends how well Cody Schwab is prepared to play against other good ICs compared to Hungrybox. But we will see. If nothing of these things happen, Solo Battle is supposed to play against Maher, who's a Marth player, really good. We don't have too many great Marths in Europe as well, so this could be a tough draw for Solo Battle. But then again, Solo is just... he's a grinder, he knows so much, he plays DK and Marth as well, so maybe he just has some tricks up his sleeve which will grant him the win anyway, or maybe it will get really bloody and they will play a game 5 banger, which could happen. I still think that he just wins against Chicken Man, so he would be here, play against BZ, same story as Maher. BZ, really good Marth player. Again, what I just said makes no diff for me. Could get bloody, could also be Solo just finding some random rests and nobody realizes that they are not random, and then he just does them 3 times and the set is over. If not, Kevbot being Captain Falcon should be fine. Then against Morse Code, oh my god. This could be like the most interesting floaty matchup I've ever seen, because both these players are insanely smart, insanely technical in the way they approach things, and they just do stuff that nobody has ever seen. The bag of tricks is like endless for both of these players. So I think it comes down who can surprise the other one the most. And I am not sure if Solo Battle can or will do it. I think it comes a lot down on who gets the first kill. Can Solo Battle just go for rests over and over and keep the lead, or not? Because then Morse Code will always be able to, if he gets the kill first, he has the charge shot, which is like huge in that matchup. And yeah. If nothing of these things happen, Solo Battle would be Here against Aura, again, I don't think he would win against Cody. Here against Samu, I think is a good matchup for solo battle. Not sure if Samu is ready for the way solo battle plays, but Samu's a great player as well, so hard to say. And if not, against Dawson, who is a fellow Puff player. It's the floaty into floaty bracket. This will. Oh no! Oh my god! Oh Jesus! Who didn't rig this? That's crazy. Why did nobody rig this? Oh my. Anyway, I don't think there's anybody in this bracket that is undoable. That just straight up beats solo battle cleanly. But we will see. Anyway, this is it for solo battle. Lastly, we got Nikki. What can we say about Nikki? Wins against I'm Michael, by the way. We talked about I'm Michael. I don't know these people. Nikki plays against Freezes, who seated pretty highly. Their favorite, obviously. Nikki against Morse Code. That's a tough one. I don't think both of these players have too much experience against playing. Like, they are the best of their character. Period. So, and they both do things that nobody else does. So, this is really interesting. And if Nikki loses, he might have to play against solo battle. Why did nobody rig this? I guess they were just confident that Nikki wins anyway. So, we continue in top 32. Nikki plays against Sunsei. Oh. I don't think Sunsei has a good chance against Nikki. I think Nikki is just the kind of player who just camps the same way Sunsei sometimes likes to camp, but he will just do it better and just kill Sunsei anytime he oversteps. And yeah. So I think this is really tough for Sunsei. Nikki then against Cody Schwab. Again, we talked about this bracket a little bit. Supposed to lose. Very not unlikely. Maybe a decent chance to win anyway. Win against Salt. The last time they played, Salt won. We didn't have too many Captain Falcon players in Europe that compare to the Captain Falcon elite players in the US. So hard to say. Maybe Nikki has a new game plan. We will see. But not a great pick for him. If he wins, he plays against Crudo. That is a great pick for him. I'm gonna be honest. In 100 matches these two play, I think Nikki wins them all. Despite Nikki not really loving the matchup, I think it doesn't matter. I don't see Crudo as the Icy Slayer. I don't think Crudo's style is good against Icies. I don't think Crudo has any idea, or like not has any idea, but he hasn't played against Nikki in tournament. Let's rephrase it. If Crudo plays against Nikki for the first time in tournament 100 times, so he doesn't remember the last time they played in tournament or the other 99 times they played, I think Nikki wins them all. I don't see Nikki lose that. But Nikki's bracket until here is really tough with Morse Code and Salt. Maybe Hungry Box if he wins against Cody. Hard to say. This is good for him, and he would be winners final, which is obviously more than you can ask for. And again, Zane, he won against Zane the last time. So actually, if Nikki wins against Cody Schwab, it's looking like a tournament he could win. But all the big hunters like Aklo, Moki, he would simply dodge, and the Puff and Peach players. He would just dodge them. No SDJ this time. Well, let's rephrase it. If Nikki continues to win, he might just win the tournament. Yeah. All right, this was it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for hearing me out, hearing my thoughts. I know this is a little, well, not very well thought out, but I wanted it to be genuine, and hope you like it. Maybe there's gonna be more. Bye bye. See ya.